Congratulations.
Thank you.
How does it feel to be back with the
Oh, I'm so happy to be back. This is home for me, and this is just like where I feel most comfortable and familiar faces, and I'm a big homebody, so I am so excited to be home. I definitely need to get used to this heat again, but I took a minute today and I was just like, looked around and I was like, God, I miss this place so much. It's so beautiful. So very excited to be home and get back to work.
Satellite High School must be booming for you as well as your hometown, that's for sure. Was there anything that you haven't done that you want to do since you've been back?
No, I took this weekend to go back to Satellite and see my family and go to the beach. It's always my first stop, and just my family is such a big part of who I am and how far I've gotten, and I make sure that they know that I definitely couldn't be where I am right now without them. So I had a nice little moment with my family. We went to the port and we went to the beach this weekend. I got to see all my little kiddos. So it's been it's been so amazing coming back. You know, Sydney LaRue is one of my best friends, and I'm the godmother of her child. So now she has a new one. So I've been there, majority of my days, just meeting the new baby, and it's just been such a good welcoming home for me.
How do you put into words when a kid grabs you by your t-shirt or your shirt and say, what was it like to win this?
Well, I have a little nephew, Jensen, and he's just been so geeked out just seeing his aunties on TV, and he hasn't taken my jersey off in the last week or two. So I feel really lucky and he's a boy, so to be able to inspire not just girls, but boys out there that look up to us, and who we're paving the way to create a better world, for our children.
How do you feel about what this team's been able to accomplish, winning that fourth World Cup?
I think we are fighting for so much more than the trophy, and I don't think people really understood that. We had to win that. Like, we did not have a choice. Like, to be heard and to continue the fight that we have been on, the path that we've been on, it wouldn't have been worth it if we didn't win. And that created so much motivation and drive because, we're about equality, and we're trying to create a movement that people can feel a part of. And it's not just women, it's definitely men too. And to be able to see the country come together and support this movement, it's been really rewarding, probably one of the most rewarding things out of the whole tournament.
Ashlyn and Alex spoke about a lot of work to be done still.
Yeah.
In terms of that, you've seen the NWSL kind of take steps with Budweiser and ESPN. From your point of view, I know you're usually vocal about this. What more do you want to see this year for the Federation and the league?
I just, money. The problem that we're having is the salary cap is so low. The budgets are so low, and all these other countries are progressing. Real Madrid's having a team in 2020, and they're throwing a lot of money into it. And you've got the Barcelonas, and you've got, Juventus now in Italy. Like, all these teams are wanting to throw money, and we can't be left behind. We're trying to move to a place where it's pay to play, and I would hate for us to be left behind in the NWSL because our salary cap is so low that we can't afford to keep these players. So my goal is to keep, bumping that salary cap up right now, and honestly create a good living for these women who are out here sacrificing everything and committing to the same stuff the best players in the world are, and are getting paid like $16,000 a year, which is not enough to survive. And you're talking about women out here who have children, and that's not good enough for me. And it's my job to keep pushing the boundaries and the status quo to be like, hey, like, we got to be better. Like, this is not good conditions for these women, and they deserve more.
I asked the other two what they hope the legacy is of the 19ers maybe 20 years down the road, and I think you've touched on a couple of the things. But if there's an overarching theme of what this team stands for and what this win means, what do you think that is?
Yeah, I mean, just like I said, the movement is so much bigger than us right now. What we're standing up for, and we're taking a lot of heat. I don't think people realize that. Like, a lot of times when we're standing up and, like, being heard and, trying to create change, there's a lot of people that are fighting us back for it. And a lot of people don't like what Megan Rapinoe has to say, what she stands for. But what people don't know is this team is not just standing for people that look like us, but also different walks of life. You know, we're fighting for something much bigger than ourselves and much bigger than our team, and I think that's the legacy we're leaving behind. Did we play in an unbelievable tournament? Yes. But the change we're creating off the field is so much bigger than a gold trophy.
Looking at the Pride, what progress have you seen from the beginning of the season till right now?
I mean, this is my first training back. I'm just trying not to heel over and croak from the heat. So I just love the commitment of the players who have been here grinding away. And I mean, we have left a lot of people out to dry, being gone as much as we have. So for them to continue to commit, to grind, and work really hard when we're not here, knowing that when we show up, we're back in the squad. I just really appreciate like how humble and just how well they're playing their role. I mean, that's not easy. And I think that's just a testament to this culture that Mark's creating, is we support each other. And at the end of the day, we want to win. And that means bringing in new players. That means bringing in, you know, all these internationals, and then them just kind of having to play a different role now.
What do you think is the most important next step for the NWSL to make sure that they kind of jump off of this momentum that the World Cup brought into the game?
We're making the steps right now by bringing money into the league. Budweiser came in, you know, you're seeing all these different companies, you know, Luna Bar and Secret, and they're trying to make things right. For this league to survive and to get the best players in the world and to claim that we are the best league in the world, we gotta have money, you know, and you know, we're slowly climbing the ladder, and I encourage other companies to support us and, you know, to bring in, just bet on us, freaking bet on us, because you won't regret it. And that's like my biggest message to big companies. And we need money and we need investment.
What message would you give to maybe college players that look at the NWSL and say exactly what you're saying, that there's not enough money, so we're going to go overseas to another country where they could get paid more?
That's a whole different topic for me to answer. I think progression and moving forward is players don't go to college anymore. But that comes from financially being stable. That comes from making enough money to make that decision where it won't hurt you in the long run. That's a whole nother can of worms we don't need to get into. But I do think, you know, look at the Mallory Pughs, look at the Lindsey Horans who didn't go to college. Look at the success they're having, and look how young they are. They have 3 more cycles in them. If they're coming out of college at 24, and now they got to take 3 years to get at the highest level, because no one just walks in there. Well, now your career is already behind you. Now you're 18, coming out of college, and you could use a few years playing in these leagues, you know, really hitting the ground running and being at your peak at 21. Now we got a whole different story, right? But people aren't willing to do that because of money. Not for $16,000 a year and risking a full paid scholarship. So we got a lot of growth, and we're pushing that growth right now, and women are the future, and we're going to continue to pave the way.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
congrats.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.